Welcome to a new episode of Diálogos Digitales. Today, we'll explore Looper, where we'll discuss themes like time as a prison and the divided identity between the young self and the older self.
A film that also invites us to reflect on the illusion of controlling destiny.
What first strikes me about Looper is that it doesn't treat time travel as a narrative gimmick, but as a metaphor for regret. Joe isn't running from the future, he's running from himself. And when his older self appears before him, he's not a villain or a hero. He's a consequence. That scene in the field where the two sit down to talk is one of the most powerful in recent cinema. Because there are no bullets, no shouting, just two versions of the same person confronting the same mistake.
Exactly. And that's where the first theme emerges, time as a prison. In Looper, you can't escape who you'll become because you already exist in the future. The older Joe returns not to save the world, but to protect a memory, a woman who loved him in a future that hasn't happened yet for the younger Joe. But by trying to prevent Sid's tyranny, he's repeating the same cycle of violence that destroyed him. The film suggests that as long as we believe we can control destiny through force, we'll remain trapped in the loop.
And that loop is fueled by the second major idea, divided identity. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis don't play two characters. They play two moments of the same fracture. The younger one believes he can reinvent himself with enough money and distance. The older one knows there's no escape. But both share the same logic, violence as a solution. What separates them isn't time, but the experience of pain. And yet, even pain doesn't free them, until Sarah appears.
Yes, and that's where the third dimension comes in, the illusion of controlling destiny. Both the young and old Joe act as if they can rewrite the future with bullets. But the real rupture doesn't come from them. It comes from Sarah, a mother who doesn't try to prevent evil, but protects the possibility of good. She doesn't see Sid as a future threat, she sees him as a child who needs love now. And in that gaze, the film proposes a radical alternative, not control, but presence.
That's why the younger Joe's final act, killing himself to prevent his older self from murdering Sid, isn't a gesture of defeat, but of freedom. For the first time, he chooses something that doesn't benefit his own self. He breaks the cycle not by killing the other, but by sacrificing his own existence. And in that moment, he stops being a looper and becomes human.
Visually, Rian Johnson reinforces this with a deliberately worn aesthetic. The future isn't shiny, it's dirty, chaotic, full of garbage. But Sarah's farm glows with an almost mythical warmth. Fire, corn, laughter. It's not a perfect place, but it's a place where care still exists. And in a world obsessed with preventing the future, that's revolutionary.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Diálogos Digitales. It has been a true pleasure to share this analysis with you and to delve together into the ideas that cinema invites us to explore. If you enjoyed this episode or it sparked new questions, we invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming conversations. Each episode is a new opportunity to look beyond the screen and rethink what we see, how we see it, and why we see it.
We'll meet again very soon in our next analysis, where we'll continue exploring the boundaries between science, consciousness, and cinema.